Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SO NWA Podcast about serving others here in Northwest Arkansas. My name is Juan Carlos. I'm a proud native of this Northwest Arkansas area, and I've watched this community grow and evolve firsthand. Each episode, we highlight the entrepreneurs, creators, and everyday people who shape this area. We talk about anything from local businesses to real estate to any hidden gems in food and restaurants and community stories. We cover it all. But folks, as well, when we're not doing a podcast episode, I'm also a local real estate agent here. So if you ever need any help buying, selling, or investing here in the Northwest Arkansas area, I'd love to help you. But if you ever need help in your real estate needs or looking for a good story, you can always catch us at our Instagram at SO NWA Podcast. And you can always send us an email at sonwapodcast@gmail.com. But let's get into today's episode, guys. Today's guest is Ben Greene, the co-founder of Greene Performance and Wellness Coaching. Ben works with individuals, leaders, business owners, and organizations to help them improve performance, strengthen relationships, develop leadership skills, and create meaningful personal growth. What makes Ben's story especially interesting is that his journey hasn't been a straight line. Several years ago, he made the decision to leave his life in Seattle and move over here to the Midwest. Through that experience, Ben has developed a passion for helping others navigate change, find clarity, and align their actions with life they truly want to live. Today, his work focuses on accountability, communication, leadership, purpose, and helping people build a bridge between knowing and what they do and what they actually do.
Simplify all of that.
Yeah.
Just say his job, like him and his brother, his job is not to tell you what to do, but to teach you how to think.
There it is, guys. Let's say that again.
Yeah. Our job is to not tell you what to do, but to teach you how to think.
Not to tell you what to do, but teach you how to think.
Yeah.
Ben, we're excited you're here. We're excited to hear more of your journey, the lessons you've learned, and what we can do to be better. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Yeah, happy to be here, man.
Thank you for the help. Folks, if you're joining us for the first time, I normally have my co-host here, Enrique. He is not here today. He's not feeling well, so we wish him a speedy recovery. And today is a one-man show. But Enrique, we miss you. We wish you were here. We want you to feel better soon. But Ben, thank you for your help, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Cool, man. So how has before we started recording, and I know life's been has been difficult, a little bit busy, difficult, different change, which we can get into here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But besides that, how is everything else?
Apart from the hard things,
Sure.
life is good. One of the sayings I say whenever people ask me how am I doing, I always say I have nothing to complain about unless I choose to complain about it.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I think when we first met, you mentioned that, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good saying.
I want everyone to have a canned response for something like that, but canned in a way that you always say it, but you always believe it.
Okay. Man, but Ben, let's get into some rapid fire questions real fast.
Okay.
Let's learn a little bit more about you. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person, 100%.
Okay. What time you wake up?
Recently, 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I'm in the middle of moving, and my thing is, you go until the job's done. And if I wake up at 3:30, I'm moving right now.
Okay.
So it's as early as possible to get as much done as possible.
All right. Coffee, tea, or neither?
Coffee.
100%. Iced or hot?
Hot.
Oh man. Okay. Enrique, that's for you, sir. We're back and forth. I'm all iced coffee.
I've never had an iced coffee in my life.
Okay.
I didn't drink coffee. I lived in Seattle for 12 years, never had a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Moved to the Midwest, started drinking coffee.
It's just a thing, right?
Yeah. Now that I'm in it, I'm in it.
Okay. Do you have a coffee place or just
my house?
Do you buy a special coffee with all the places around here? Or you just
I either get, I think it's, what is it called? I either get Black Rifle, or I think it's like Argento, which is like what's the local one here? Argosy or something like that?
We're talking about like Onyx or Airship or something.
One of those. We get Airship.
Okay.
I'm just now getting into weighing my coffee and really nerding out on it.
Okay. One book everybody should read.
The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. The book, it's 162 pages.
Okay.
Chapters range from a paragraph to 2 pages. I have probably bought 100 copies of this book. the way you read this book, and I always give people instructions on how to read the book. Read a chapter, think about what it says, do what it says, live by that chapter, and then open the book again.
When you say live by that chapter, would that be for like the day or that week or something?
That week, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of, like, if you're going to actually learn something, you got to live with that thing.
Yeah.
So the book's all about internal resistance, and it talks about where it comes from. So each chapter will be like a small little paragraph on, like, hey, resistance is from within you. So what did I do all week? That's all I thought about.
Okay.
And I live by that, and then I read it again. So don't just read the book straight through. But The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, game changer book.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Biggest habit that improved your life? Let's go with lately.
Ooh, that's a good one, because not one habit's going to improve your life. It's a combination of a bunch of them.
Okay.
But for me personally, it's silent walking. I've been doing that for years. 45 minutes every single day on my self-powered treadmill. No music, no podcast, just walking.
Okay.
Letting my brain just kind of play, and just every day.
Oof.
We'll get into that more later.
Okay.
But I'm about to do something crazy with that.
Okay. What's harder, fitness, relationship, or business?
Nothing's hard.
You told me it's relative, right?
Yeah, hard is relative to what you get in return. So nothing's actually hard. But
Okay.
it was your choices were business, relationships, or
Fitness.
relationships. Fitness and business, man. That's all on me. Relationships, I gotta deal with somebody else.
If you could go back 25 years if you can go back to your 25-year-old self, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Calm down. Take things slow. Give yourself grace.
Oof. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's one word you want people to use when describing you?
First thing that comes to mind is awesome. But one person said I'm like calming. So I like that, either awesome or calming.
Okay. I can see both for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could ever have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Well, the easy one is my dad. He passed away May 15th, 2018. Okay. I would love to pick his brain now, because one thing my dad always used to say to me is being a father is like being a farmer. You're constantly planting seeds, and you're not necessarily going to know if those seeds are going to germinate. And he would say to me all the time, he'd say, Ben, when I'm gone, you're going to learn a lot of lessons. And goddamn, he was right. When my dad died, I went, oh, dang. That's what he meant. That's what he meant. So I would love to have a talk with him now as the man I am now, because I've learned all of the lessons that he tried to teach me that I couldn't learn while he was here.
That's so good. My dad just left. He visited my wife and I this past week. He just left yesterday. But it was the first time hanging out with my dad since I became a dad.
Yeah.
Completely different. So, sorry. We hung out for the week. I saw him back in February for like half a day or a day. We went to go visit. So now that I'm a dad, hanging out with my dad is pretty nice.
How much are you like your dad? We all did it as kids. I'm not going to be like my parents. Now that you're a dad, how much are you like your dad?
I think my siblings, my wife would say, we're pretty similar. I would say a good amount. I think, my dad, he grew up really young, probably like most of our, in our culture, they grow up pretty young, maybe, and others as well. So, but I think we're pretty similar. Even the way we talk now is kind of funny. So, man, Ben, that was good. Folks. So that was our rapid fire questions. Like I said, it is to get to know our guest. It is something fun that we do. But let's get into our main discussion here. Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got here today in Northwest Arkansas, and what connects you to Northwest Arkansas. How did you find out about us here?
Yeah, well, there's two stories I either tell people on how I end up here. There's the quick story where I'm just like, I don't know you, I just want to get it over with. Then there's the real story. So, I mean, which path do I take? The real story, or like, let's get it over with?
I would say let's go with the real story, but condensed.
Okay. Essentially, the way I even came to the Midwest, I lived in Seattle for 12 years, got divorced, had a little bit of trickery during the divorce.
Okay.
Ended up in Springfield, Missouri because of that. And then that's how I ended up there. It wasn't the place for me. Too slow. Like I'm from New York originally, so I like to move fast, like to think fast, work fast, whatnot. And then met my wife who lives in Springdale, Arkansas. She's born and bred here, native. Met her, and it was like, yup, let's go. Moved out here, got married, and then out of the 5 states I've ever lived, Arkansas is my number one.
Okay.
Absolute favorite place, man. Combination of fast-moving people, beautiful nature, Southern hospitality. Got a couple Western hearts, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So
tell us the 5 that you have been. So New York and Seattle.
Yeah, born in New York. So I'll tell you in stages because everything was a stage.
Okay.
New York was 0 to 10, childhood. Then Phoenix was 10 to 20. That's like adolescence. Seattle was 20 to 30-ish. That was building the foundation of who I am now. Springfield was like 3 or 4 years. That was kind of cementing more of who I am, building my frame, which we can get into what that means. And then Arkansas now, this is where I become who I'm meant to become, and then blow it up from there. Blow it up from there. I talk with my hands.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Man, okay, 5 states. Now you're here. This is number 1, huh?
Oh, by far.
Man, that's crazy.
But don't come here. I don't want any more people here.
We constantly hear that, in our episodes, we constantly say that, and we say it after we continue to hear it. I think we just have a good mixture of things, and it's been, if you're, someone like your wife, and I would say probably like myself, who've been here for a long time, like this is just what we know.
Yeah.
You go to other places and you just say, oh, well, that's nice, but I'm going to go back home, and I don't think it's just because of the roads or it's slower. I think it's the people. I think it's what we have here. And again, even like the people that come here, they kind of see the difference, and then they also enjoy that and add to it. If I that's what I say, add to it.
Yeah, no, it's a special place.
Okay. And so you moved here. When did you move here?
May 15th of last year.
Oh, so you've only been here a year.
Yeah, I'm fresh, man.
Guys, a year here from New York, went to Phoenix. And these are Seattle and number 1 Arkansas. Yeah. Let's go. Are you a Razorback fan yet?
I have to be. My wife said.
Okay, that's a good answer.
My wife gets mad because I'll do the woo pig thing, but I'll do it in a thick Brooklyn accent, and she gets so mad when I do that. It's not how you do it.
When we moved here, when we moved back home, almost 6 years ago now, I remember I took my wife to, we went to Beef O'Brady's in Centerton. We wanted some dinner, and there was a game going on, and it was her first time hearing a woo pig, and she was like, what? If you know, you know. But then something about it is you just join it.
Yeah, 100%.
Even when you see it on TV, you're kind of like, what are they doing? Yeah. But if you're here and you do it, you know what it is. All right, Ben. Well, you've been here a year now. I know you have. You're a co-founder of Greene Performance and Wellness Coaching.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into. That must be your connection to Northwest Arkansas. Were you doing that before you moved here?
Yeah, I was doing that before.
Okay.
I started that in Seattle, and then it's me and my brother, so it goes wherever we are.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about that. If we're not familiar with it, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
What is the services you offer, and how are you and your brother involved in it in that sense?
Yeah, so Greene Performance and Wellness Coaching, or GPWC, we are mental performance coaches. So the simplest way to say exactly what that is our job is to not tell you what to do, but to teach you how to think. We poke holes in your perspective, in your actions, in your thoughts, and we help you figure out how to make them better. Because I'm a big believer in you only go as far as your beliefs, and your beliefs start and end with you. So if you have shitty beliefs, your life's going to follow. So our job is to help you up-level that, but also making sure that you're taking consistent action. The easiest way to kind of describe me and my brother, are you a basketball fan, or do you know anything about NBA?
I know a little bit
Phil
about
Jackson?
him. Yes, the GOAT.
Yeah, exactly. So the way we describe me and my brother's relationship is my brother's Phil Jackson. He works with the overall team, and I'm Tim Grover. He was Michael Jordan's trainer. I focus in on the individual, make sure that individual is performing well. And our combined efforts, we uplift the entire organization.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of my clients, she's a big wig at the University of Arkansas.
Okay.
She said to me, and I'm going to butcher her accent, but sorry. She said to me, you boys, you don't sprinkle sugar on shit and tell me it's ice cream. And I said, yep, that's what we do. We're here to shoot you straight, make sure you're becoming the best human, the best business person, the best father, mother, absolutely possible. And that starts with how you think.
Ooh, how did you guys get into that? Was it schooling? Was it that you continue to met with people? Because I believe you have that in you as maybe as an individual, and you start leading teams, you start developing teams, and you're like, I have you can call it a gift, and you're like, well, now I'm going to open up my business so people can call me to do that. So how did you guys get into that?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. So I've had about 5 different businesses. And one of the things I tell all entrepreneurs to do, and all people in general, is magnify your uniqueness. Because no one's going to out Juan. No one's going to out Ben. So magnify that. And every business I've ever done, I've magnified that, where I've never had to run ads. I've never had to market. And we've always made a nice chunk of change because of that. Because we know there are people who are going to be attracted to you and not me because of who you are, and vice versa. So when this business originally started, I was 21 years old. I got fired from all the jobs I had prior. My brother fired me from a job at one point. And I started a personal trainer and private chef service. And very quickly, I became the #1 trainer in all of Seattle. And I realized very quickly as well, change doesn't happen if this isn't right. Yeah. So I started focusing on that with my clients, and I got the same feedback over and over again. Your workouts are fine, your food's okay, but we love talking to you. Can we just do that? The light bulb never turned on because I was young. It was just kind of buzzing. Pandemic happened, and I said, all right, I'm going to go full force into this. Perfect timing in the world for people to be stuck at home and needing someone to talk to. Wow. And it took off like wildfire, man. Because people need that realness, and that's what we bring.
100%. I feel like and Enrique, if he was here, something that we both say is, when this podcast, we wanted to be authentic. Yeah. We love, like, personally, we love talking to people. We love getting to know people, especially in our area. But also just keeping it real. There's what do we got to blow? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you could die tomorrow. I could die tomorrow, and if I'm not real, what's the point of living? Why hide yourself, man?
Yeah. So I have to go back to my notes and say,
you're good.
I'll say Greene Performance and Wellness Coaching.
Just call it Greene Performance Coaching.
Greene Performance.
That's what we also go with too.
Greene Performance.
Greene Performance Coaching.
Greene Performance Coaching. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what if someone was interested to get some coaching from y'all. Yeah. What's the process like, and kind of what the next maybe few sessions would look like?
Yeah. So to work with us, first off, everything is unique. Nothing like page 48 in the manual. Everything is literally customized to you, and we're using our many years of experience. Because at this point, there's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing my brother hasn't heard. You can't really throw us off kilter. And to be honest with you, so much of our coaching is just data chunking. Out of all the customers we've dealt with over the last 10 years or so, we only deal with a handful of different problems. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what level you're at in life, you still have the same problem.
Oh, yeah.
We deal with people with 9-figure businesses, same problems as the guy making $100,000 a year. No different. And you think, money's going to solve everything. Nope. That's not how it works.
I can see that.
But yeah, to work with us, we're in a very fortunate position that we are highly selective of who we work with. We essentially choose all of our clients. Mm-hmm. And a tip for new businesses, you don't need to take everybody's money. You really don't. You can be selective on whose money you take, because that's going to build your business a lot faster. Because if you invest in the right people, they're going to reciprocate and they're going to share. And they're going to have great experiences compared to, I need to work with everybody because I need to bring money in. You're going to do some damage to yourself, and damage to your brand, and damage to your business, and you're not going to learn as much. So we're pretty selective on who we work with. We work very well with different people. Mm-hmm. My brother, like I said, he's the Phil Jackson of the two of us. He loves working with teams. He will manage a 15-person team and run that entire thing. That's not my strong suit. I want to get to know the ins and outs of Juan, know how you move, how you think, So I could say something to you, I see your eye twitch, and I go, what was that? Because I know you so well. So for me, I dive in with one person, and then I get to know everything about them, and we essentially kind of become friends. One of the things that's a requirement for me and my brother is if I don't feel like I can sit across the table from you and have a beer with you, we're not going to work with you.
Oof, that's good.
Simple as that. I mean, we don't need to accept everybody, so we don't. But then everything about the process is individualized. The question I always like to ask people that gives us the jump off point without having to do too much legwork is, all right, Juan, if you can improve one area of your life, even if it's just an inch of progress, where would you start? And that gives us the jump off point, and then we've done this long enough that we can get everything we want out of you, everything you need to grow. And then, like I said, it's not our job to tell you what to do, because our belief is, I'm going to attack therapists real quick. Our belief is you have all the answers, you're not broken, you just need those answers pulled out, and then you need to take action.
Yeah.
Because, you've probably heard the saying, time heals all wounds. I hate that saying. It's too passive. The thing that heals everything is action, forward momentum. So that's what our coaching is built off of, action and accountability. Okay. At the end of every session, you're going to be left with a couple things that you need to do. And then throughout the week, be prepared for a phone call or a text saying, hey, Juan, you do it?
Yeah.
And if you say yes, great job, buddy. You say no, we're from New York. What the hell happened, man? And we make sure it happens for you.
Accountability, that's important for sure.
Absolutely massive, man. You can't just be left on your own.
Yeah. I think, I feel like accountability is huge in every aspect of personally or even in your business, or if you work for somebody, right? You always want to do good for them, do good for whoever you're working with, but also for yourself, right? That's important. Yeah. So family and everything, man. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And our whole goal is it's not to work with someone for 15 years.
Yeah. We
want to get you where you need to go and then be able to send you on your way. And most of our clients, we send them on their way and they come back.
What is maybe just to dive in a little bit deeper, kind of, what is maybe an average time frame that you see?
6 months is the minimum.
Okay.
Because what happens is, so everything in your life, Juan, is built off a pattern. Your body is built off a pattern of eating, a pattern of movement. Your bank account is built on a pattern of effort, a pattern on wins, losses, whatnot. So the first 3 months of coaching anybody, all it is breaking your patterns, because your life is a sum of your patterns. So that's the first 3 months. We're just battling your internal systems that you've put in place. Months 4 through 6, that's where a lot of the change starts to happen, because we're so consistent with our messaging that after a while, your brain says, screw it, we're going to think the new way. And then you start thinking a new way, and then you start acting a new way, and it starts building up. So 6 months is a minimum. Some of our clients have been with us since the beginning. They're 6-7 years in at this point, and they just love having someone on their side. So, I mean, some of their sessions are 15 minutes long of like, hey, man, how you doing? You hitting your things? How's the family? How's the dog? You good? All right, cool. Talk to you later. And then the next session, it might be an hour-long session of, man, I'm just struggling.
Yeah.
Because our whole thing is we are legit on your side. If you are successful, that means we're successful.
Yes.
So we fully invest in our people. This isn't just some cash grab thing. We're not life coaches. We're not some like fly by night. We took like some dollar certification online, got certified in an hour. This is the life we live. I'm certified through the biggest bodies in the industry. I have degrees in this stuff. My brother's the same. This is our life, man. This isn't some side hustle joke.
I see that. What is, do you have maybe a small or short success story of, someone coming in that, maybe is a common or average problem that you see, and then 6 months later that, what would that look? So what does that look like?
Oh yeah. So a lot of the people I personally work with, my roster kind of skews more male. My brother's roster is a nice mix. So I have this guy, we'll call him Easy E. If he hears this, he'll be like, you're talking about me. That's his alter ego. So we got
NWA.
Yeah. We got Easy E.
That's his alter ego.
Yeah, we can get into that too. Everyone needs to have an alter ego. So that's his alter ego. And a lot of the people we work with, the way we frame it is their bank accounts are fat, but something else is missing. Because our clients who afford us, they're doing pretty well. They're not struggling that way. So when he came to me, he was overwhelmed at work. He was angry about work. He wasn't really connecting with his family. He wasn't really connected with himself. He was just ready to like leave it all, essentially. I can't do this anymore. I need change. And so the advice we started with is, what are you doing for yourself? How are you taking care of you? I don't care about your job. What are you doing for just Easy? And he was like, oh, not much. So we started off little. All right, start going for walks. Okay, cool. You're doing the walks. Then we're going to build on that. And now, 6 months later, his team's doing better than ever. His relationship with his kids is better than ever. He's happier than ever. He's about to step away from work for 2.5 weeks and just let his team be because of all the work he's done with his team, all the work I've done with his team. Every now and again, I will jump in with a team, but only the right teams. Mm-hmm. And his life has dramatically changed in just 6 months.
Like a self-care kind of.
Essentially,
But you're behind him, kind of like guiding him.
Yeah, yes. Essentially. I mean, my whole thing is, my job as a coach is I have to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah.
If I'm going to tell you to do something, I did it. I already did it, so I know it works. It's been tested. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I mentioned to you earlier is like my silent walking.
Oh, yes.
That's a massive thing for me. One of the things I institute with all of my clients, it's called your MRE, your minimum required effort. And life comes down to a lot of times your identity. So if you identify yourself as a failure, well, guess what? Your actions are going to live that up. Self-fulfilling prophecy. So with your MRE, your minimum required effort, you do something that is small, but you do it every day. So my minimum required effort to build the identity and constantly touch the identity of being a healthy person who cares for himself is to walk on my treadmill 45 minutes a day without fail, Sunday through Monday or whatever, 7 days a week, 365. It's my MRE. Helps me stay healthy, helps me stay in touch with that identity, and helps me literally walk the walk. Nice. So with Easy, I helped him figure out his MRE. Mm-hmm. And then I made sure he did it. And now 6 months later, he's like, man, life's great. So
cool.
Yeah, cool. Nothing we're doing is complicated. And I've said it before. If people say it's complicated to change your life, they want more money out of you. It's not complicated.
It sounds like, it sounds like it's the little changes that make the big effect, right? And I think self-care is really important. I'm big on it. My wife's gonna listen to this when this comes out, and I tease her all the time because she'll put, her, just put the other things in front of her, I guess, if in that way. And I'm like, honey, why don't you go? I have to be the one, like, I got you a spa day, I took, go. I have to like push her out the door to go out or so. Mm-hmm. But I get that. And for me, I'll be like, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to go out this weekend or hang out with the boys or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm a big believer in finding your you time. And
but yeah, that's I like that.
Yeah, that's massive. But
a question I have for you guys: what's one of the biggest misconceptions people have about personal growth that you see?
That personal growth happens by waking up at 4 a.m., by doing cold plunges, by meditating, by having a 3-hour morning routine. They think personal development comes down to the Instagram version of it, but personal development is individual to you. Mm-hmm. It's the only way you actually do it is slowly and intentionally. It's not crazy efforts that change who you are. There obviously are some moments that are big and bold that impact you, but life isn't a series of home runs. Life is a series of base hits. You get enough base hits, you win.
Yes.
And one of my favorite sayings of all time is a very simple one. Gradually, then suddenly. Gradually, you chip away. You do the work. You get those base hits. And then suddenly, you wake up, and life's different. Gradually, then suddenly. That's the whole goal, man.
I love this. So what is something that you do to get into, would it be like your own head or your own client's head of growth and development?
Yeah. So I talked earlier about MREs, minimum required efforts. I like to repeat certain things because the only way you learn is hearing it over and over and over again.
Okay.
So I like to do certain things to get in my head because that's where a lot of these concepts come from. I'm living life. I have something happen. I figure out the learning from it. And one of the things that I'm having all of my clients do right now, if they're game for it, most of them are because I'm doing it, it's called a misogi. Misogi. What a misogi is, it is a renewing of the spirit and a cleansing of the spirit and dropping of baggage and dropping of heaviness through physical endurance. This was created in Japan many, many years ago, like hundreds of years ago. And the whole idea was these Shinto warriors would sit under a waterfall for hours straight to refresh themselves, to rinse away everything.
Okay.
That's a brutal way of doing it, and I'm not doing it that way. Okay. So what I am personally doing is on Friday at 5 a.m., I am walking from Springdale to Bentonville and back in silence, no iPhones, no Apple Watch. Well, I'll have my Apple Watch track it.
Okay.
No input, no podcast, no headphones, no talking to anyone, just silence.
Oh, man.
As a way to make myself extremely uncomfortable because it's going to be hot and it's going to be 12 hours straight of walking. And as a way to really kind of work through anything that I have in my mind. I've had so much heavy things happen recently that I need to just spend time with myself and get comfortable in that silence and just see what comes out. So all of my clients are doing their own misogis. And it doesn't have to be 12 hours of walking. It's whatever is hard enough for you personally to just let things go, to think through things, to also reset your limits because, you know, your level of hard might be here and mine might be through the roof. But the only way mine got there is I just started doing harder and harder things.
Just built on it.
Yeah. Yes. So your hard might be an hour of walking. Yeah. But hey, cool. You elevated what you're capable of doing. So me personally, I'm doing my misogi on Friday as a way to kind of figure things out, work on myself,
reset.
Yeah,
have that time.
Yeah,
dedicated. I think it's more dedicated time, intentional. And then, I mean, of course, there is a huge endurance to it. I mean, that's got some nice shoes.
Yeah, no, I'm prepared for it, man. But no, I've had so much heavy stuff happen over the last 2 weeks that I didn't plan on it to be this week. I mean, I didn't plan on all this stuff to happen, but it's like. One of the sayings I always take, and if you really want to become mentally resilient, the frame you need to take, thank God it was me. What I mean by that is whether something's good or bad, thank God it's you, because then you get to learn from it, you get to grow from it, and hopefully if you can communicate well enough, you get to share that. So for me, I've been through all this heavy stuff over the last 2 weeks that was earth-shattering. Thank God it was me, man. And now I get to go on this walk. And think more. Thank God.
Man, I you know, I was saying earlier that I had my dad was here, so was my sister, and you know, we were kind of talking, and I didn't have a chance to tell her this in person, but I'm going to call her later and tell her. You know that we've heard that saying. I think most people have heard this saying. I think it's like a Japanese or Chinese saying. You know, the nail that sticks out gets hammered, right? And initially. That sounds kind of wrong, right? And it perspective and however, you know, oh, well, I don't want to be the nail that sticks out because then I get hammered. But then I thought, well, what about if you hammering that nail is the reason it sticks together, right? That I don't want to say that's like part 2 of the saying, but I always thought that because that's only one side. If you're looking at it, and the reason I wasn't tell her about that was because I think sometimes she thinks maybe certain things are challenging, and she's at a young age, you know, and just like things in most of our young age life. Well, I think we always have challenges in our life; it never stops. But you know, as a young adult, sometimes you kind of think of it in a way that's like on you, or it's personal, or life, or whatever. But you know, or if you're doing something that draws attention to you, it can look negatively. Yeah. But I was just thinking, I was like, you know what, that saying, and that, for whatever reason, that saying just came to mind. Oh, the nail that sticks out gets hammered. But then I said, you know what? What about if that hammering is the reason it sticks together, and you know, saves the bridge, saves the foundation of whatever. You know, I never looked at it like that, but I kind of thought when you said that,
diamonds are only made under pressure.
Yes, yeah. So before we started recording, you just mentioned you had a heavy 2 weeks. I think if you want to, would you like to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I'm fortunate to go through everything that I go through, good, bad, or indifferent. And no, you don't know who you are until pressure's applied. And
fair, yes, that's a good. Yes.
Over the last 2 weeks, me and my wife, we lost our son, and we moved. We had so much stuff happen in 2 weeks. We were 7.5 months pregnant. It was going to be our first child together. We have 2 boys separate that we all live together, but this is going to be our first baby with all of our beautiful characteristics put together. And something happened where we lost the baby. And it was such a sudden thing that, you don't know how you're going to respond when things are sudden. But part of the reason I do the work that I do, my brother does the work that he does, it's not for rainbows and sunshine. It's not for when everything's good. We are literally trying to prepare our clients for when the world feels like it's coming down around them. Mm-hmm. That's why we really do what we do, because if you can survive that, you're good. Mm-hmm. And when we got that news, it was, we got to go to the hospital now. We have to take care of this. We have to do everything necessary. I got to the hospital. My wife was in shambles, as anyone would be, but for a mom, it's different than for a dad. And they basically told us what was going to happen. And for me, I knew inside I have to show up a certain way. Now is not my time to cry. Now is not my time to put anything on me. Now is my time to focus in on my wife. And as we're talking, she says, what's going on in your head right now? And I go, well, this isn't the end of our story. This is just the end of a really hard chapter for us, because we have been through so much in our personal lives and together. And I said, it's darkest before the dawn. Something good's going to come from this. And I said that probably 30 times in the hospital. She looks at me and she says, you're not going to change your viewpoint, are you? And I go, nope. This is my belief. I'm not going to change it. She goes, all right, good. I need you to be that way. I said, all right, done. Mm-hmm. So my wife goes into labor to deliver our son, who is not actually going to be alive. And she is freaking out. And I'm calm as a cucumber, man. Just I'm inches away from her, just looking her in the eyes. I'm saying, you got this. Just breathe. We have to be here before we're at the next step. Mm-hmm. So do what you got to do. Our baby comes, and he looks just like me, because I make kids who look just like me. And for 2 days, nonstop crying, man. There's no other way to respond in that. But the one thing for me is I believe in relentless positivity until the world or something was like, hey, you can't be positive right now, kind of. And I was positive the entire time in the hospital. And my wife was just blown away by this. She goes, how are you so positive? And back to why we do this work. It's for times like these, because you control your perspective. You control what you find in all of these situations. And as we're in the hospital, I said this to my wife. I said, this was our baby. He is our third boy, and he was our smallest boy. But this boy, with our combination of features and traits, was a powerful earth mover, man. He forced our family and pushed our family to get out of a house that we didn't want to be in, and to change our lives in a way that we're going to be able to be more present for our boys than we ever could have been because of that. And the silver lining that I was able to find, and one of the worst moments you could ever possibly go in, is change is coming, but change is good.
Yeah.
And I kept that going the entire time in the hospital. And even now, as we're in the day 2 of a move, and it's a chosen perspective. I didn't have to, but I chose it because I've trained myself to be prepared for anything. And that's a very long-winded kind of way of just reinforcing this is why you do the work. This is why personal development matters. Personal development isn't about getting likes. It's not about looking cool on YouTube. It's not about getting a spouse. It's about preparing yourself for the worst so you can be your best.
Ben, when before we recorded, we touched on it just real briefly, and I just want to say we're sorry for it happening, and for you and your wife and your family. And on the reverse side, we'll say you have your own view of it, and we also support that too.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, everyone's going to handle it differently, but for me, my bias is towards incremental growth and positivity. So I'm always going to go that way.
Yeah. So, folks. I mean, just even for me, we'll take a moment of silence just to kind of regather.
Yeah, no, it's. I think this is the first time I've ever said it in that way. I've talked about it a decent amount, but never in this way. I probably could never say it the way I just said it ever again.
So Ben, I think with that experience with your wife and family, the word that you used earlier, resilience.
Yeah.
Let's get into that a little bit. Especially with what you do for a living. So.
Yeah, for sure. Resilience is it's one of those like foundational skills that everyone needs to develop. And resilience is one of those things that it's usually developed before you actually need it. It's something like you're putting money in the bank. You go through something hard, you get through it. You put some resiliency coins in the bank. You don't really know it at the time. And you keep doing that over and over and over again. And then something really bad happens and you're mentally resilient because you've been through some shit. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole goal. I want people to be highly resilient. And I've talked to people about this before, but have you ever heard about the mindset of a garden weed?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's not a book, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Garden weeds. You see them everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could see them like on the side of a building, busting through concrete, under a dumpster, in a pile of shit. You see them everywhere because garden weeds are three things: resilient, resourceful, relentless. Three awesome things to build in yourself is to be that way. And I'm just such a big pusher of like, all right, be resilient, find the learnings, do some hard things over and over and over again. And part of our jobs as mental performance coaches is to be the steward of this stuff. Is I have to go out and live life to be a successful coach. If I'm just sitting at my house doing nothing, then I have no leg to stand on.
Yes.
So for me personally, I'm always doing things that push that resilience further and further. Because with me being born the way I was with a disability and whatnot, my thing was I couldn't be faster than anyone else, couldn't be more agile than anyone else. So I'm just going to be slower than everyone else, but go longer than everybody else. Outwork your self-doubt, outwork the resistance, and just outwork everybody else around you, and you'll win. It's another way of winning. So, yeah, that's another thing we're really, really big on, is just focusing on that. And I have a story that you might enjoy if I share that.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the story of the coffee bean, the egg, and the carrot?
No.
Okay, so I love this story. A son is sitting at the kitchen table with his mom, and he's just complaining about life. This isn't good, and that isn't good, and the mom is just, okay, honey. And as he's complaining about life, she takes an egg, a carrot, and a coffee bean and puts them in their own pots of water, starts boiling the water. He just keeps talking, and as he's talking, she takes a plate, puts the egg on the plate, puts the carrot on the plate, and puts coffee in a cup. And the son looks at his mom and goes, what's this? She goes, well, the egg, when it was put, or the carrot, when it was put in the water, was hard. It was softened by the heat. The egg, when it was put in the water, was fragile. It was hardened by the heat. Then there's the coffee bean. It was put into the water, and the water is no longer water. The water is coffee. So the coffee bean changed the water. All of the other two, the carrot and the egg, they were changed by their environment. Where the coffee bean, it changed the environment. So what I want you to be, what I want me to be, what I want all my friends to be is coffee beans.
Yes.
We change the environment around
Change the
us.
environment that you're in.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah.
I actually was not. I thought he was going to say the egg. Be the egg.
No.
Now it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? Pull that out of the water.
No, man.
That's pretty good.
No. And how I'm talking to you now with like stories like this is what a coaching session looks like.
Mm.
It's literally, hey, like have you heard this story? And I share the story, and then you go, oh. And it's just a back and forth. I wanted, after going to therapy and leaving therapy and being like, ugh, I just never felt it. Like I never left it feeling great.
Yeah.
I wanted this experience. My brother wanted this experience to be vastly different. We want people to leave and be like, yes.
Yes.
So we make it that way. So a lot of our sessions, back to your question earlier, like what does it look like, is us sharing stories, us talking, us sharing wins from our other clients, just sharing the experiences that we have, because we're not normal. Most people don't get to talk to hundreds of different people from every walks of life and then have notes on all of it and just have like this glossary of things that we've learned over 10 years. So we're fortunate. We get to then be like, here you go, dude.
Yep.
This is the message you need right now.
Yep. Wow. The way you put that at the end, very true. That's not common.
Yeah.
Some people are fortunate.
Yeah.
And it is nice.
Yeah.
I can kind of relate a little bit, so it is cool.
Yeah. No, it's the best thing ever, man. Just talking to people.
Oh man. Something Ben, something we do on this podcast here is we're kind of reaching to, our next segment here is there a person, a team, or an organization you'd like to give a shout out to? As in a shout out as in like let's work together, or someone we already work with? I think of more of like an appreciation shout out. Yeah. But in reality, great question. So far, no one has asked that question or a question like that. But the way that we look at it is, you're on the podcast. We're giving you appreciation, a shout out, because we want to highlight you, right? Yeah. So we look at it like a shout out. Like, is there someone that you want to highlight? Since you have for sure. I mean, I'm not going to highlight my clients because client privacy is number one for us. Sure. But I'll highlight my wife. My wife, Alicia Greene. She's the most powerful person I've ever met. Never when I met her, I knew I was going to marry her in 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of meeting her, I made my decision up. Took her a little bit longer, but I knew immediately. And after going through all this with her, I wouldn't go through this with anyone else. She's the only person. So I'll give a shout out to my wife. And then from a business perspective, Walmart, JB Hunt, Tyson Chicken, come work with me. Let's go. Bring us in. We want to help you guys be even better. I have I will say offline, I'm going to put you in touch with one of our previous guests too, Mariah Newman. She has a similar coaching business called the Soul Fire Collective. Mm-hmm. So what she wants to know, what sets your soul on fire. And for a long time, kind of a short story, for a long, she worked for Walmart as a performance coach at Walmart. And then she branched off and did her own thing. Yeah. Really great. Actually, this reminds me, I reached out to her about a month ago to say hello. It was her birthday, close to my birthday. And, I'll reach out to her, say, some lunch. Okay, cool. So your wife, for sure. Shout out to Alicia, yes? Yeah. Alicia. Shout out to Alicia. Yeah, big hug from us. Let's talk about a little bit about Northwest Arkansas. Yeah. What is a local spot that you feel like hits home to you? And this can be, it can be a restaurant, it can be a park. It is so funny, man. First thing that comes to mind is a very special Casey's gas station, and my wife's gonna be like, "Seriously, that's the thing that you name?" Dude, folks. Dude, I love Casey's. I love Casey's too, and my one spot, I know every single person that works there. Oh, yeah. I know them all by name. They know me by name. They know my wife. They know the dog. They know the kids. I love that spot, and my wife, she's like, "Really, that's your spot?" I'm like, where else do I go and I get greeted by everybody? Yes. Yeah, so I love that place just because I've never experienced anything like that where it's like you have the same people working there day in, day out. Yeah. So that's not a real local spot, but for me it is. A real local spot that I absolutely love, that I frequent all the time, let me think about it. Joy House Coffee in Cave Springs. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's
I've
my
not been.
yeah, absolute favorite coffee shop. I
Okay.
now have the same chairs they have in their coffee shop in my office
Okay.
because it's the most cozy, comfortable spot. It's on the way to the airport, so you drive past all the time.
Yes.
That is my jam. I'm there
Okay.
all the time. Love that spot.
I'll pop in. I
Yeah.
have not been. I do pass by it every time I go to the airport, and every time I say, "Oh man,
Well worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, the owner's he's an awesome dude.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Folks, just a shout out to Casey's. I would say I am a huge, coming from the West Coast, you see a bunch of Chevrons and AMPMs and 7-Elevens and everything like that.
Not the same.
Not even close. You go to Casey's, like here, our biggest ones is Casey's and Maverick, right? And I tell you, every time I go to Casey's, all their Casey's brand things, like their chips and candies and donuts, coffee, pizzas, top notch.
Oh, yeah.
Great price.
The running joke in my house is if I die, when I die, my wife's going to get my Casey points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to leave her thousands of Casey points.
Cool. I like that. All right. Well, last thing before we wrap up here. Each episode, our guest leave a question for our next guest. We kind of do a little connection in that way. So our previous guest, which was Josh and Emily Safran from the Gents Place, the owners of the Gents Place, if you know them. They're the barbershop there's one at the Walmart campus.
Okay.
And then there's one in Bentonville on Walton.
Yeah.
Great location, great place. So we had them on, and this is the questions that they left. You have 2 questions, right? Husband and wife. So Josh says, finish this sentence. It's the year 2035, so 10 years from now, or 9 years from now, and you can't believe blank is here in Bentonville.
This is going to be a weird one, but Rivian. I want a Rivian truck, and they're not here. They need to open up a shop here.
Oh, man. Shop. Okay, I was like, I think I've seen a truck or two.
I want to buy one of their cars, but you can't buy them here.
Okay.
So open up a shop here. Let's go. I want a truck.
I wouldn't be surprised I'm surprised there's not a Tesla spot here.
Yeah, I know.
You have to go to
open up one of those. That would make my life easier. I want a truck.
And then Emily asked, what charitable initiative would you be most likely to invest your time in? What charitable initiative would you be most likely to invest your time, talent, or treasures in? And what are you doing? What are you doing to make that happen in the next year?
Ooh.
They're big on charity. They every year they have an event around Thanksgiving and then from that event they donate to veterans.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, some of the people I love working with are veterans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a veteran, but man, I love those type of people. So I'd love to invest in working with veterans. I mean, primarily probably dudes.
Mm-hmm.
We usually hit it off on the same wavelength of thinking and whatnot, and I feel like a lot of them are underappreciated and their stories aren't heard enough. And I think men need groups, and when these guys leave the military, they lose those groups. So if I was able to and I had the time, I would love to invest in the veteran community. Don't know how that would work because I'm not a veteran, but I would love to just help in some way.
Support,
yeah.
Okay. Now it reminds me of the Tier 5.
Yeah, that's my men's group, Tier 5.
Yes.
Can I explain it real quick?
Yeah, I thought it was great. So please.
Yeah, so Tier 5 Dads, it's my men's group that I started, and basically what Tier 5 means is there's 5 levels of friendship. First level, you don't really want these people around. All they do is talk about the past. Second level of friendship, all they do is talk about other people. So it's like, hey, you watched the game the other night, talk about players and whatnot. Don't really want them around. Tier 3, that's where these people, you want to start keeping them around in doses. They talk big ideas. They don't do anything, but they get you inspired. Tier 4, you also want these people around. They're the guys and women that every time you talk to them, they're doing stuff. They're out there hustling. The thing that they're missing is you can't be like, hey, I made $1 million this year and I'm miserable. They're just like, we don't talk about that. They don't go deep. Then we got Tier 5. That's why my group is called Tier 5. This is where you can talk about anything and everything. I could say to you, hey, man, I'm making all this money, business as well, marriage as well, but I'm missing something. And they go, okay, let's talk. So I created this group for fathers who are also entrepreneurs called Tier 5 Dads. where we get together and we talk real stuff. We don't hold back. We open up. I mean, our first meeting, 2 of the guys opened up, 2 of my homies, and basically talked about losing children. In the first 10 minutes of us being together, the only connection in the entire group to everybody is me. Nobody knows each other. And within the first 5 minutes, we're talking about that. So Tier 5 Dads, I don't want to say it's exclusive, but I'm the only way to get in the group. So I have to really like you to invite you in. But it's a group I started to bring these high-performing entrepreneurs and fathers together to be real with each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard about this, when we had one of our connection meetings, I said, because I have a passion for that too, of a men's group getting together, and you know, almost hosting, right? Hosting these men and just getting together to talk about whatever. And I think that's a really good
it's so important. Our perspective is vastly different than our wives.
Yeah. So Ben, we are wrapping up here. We want to say thank you, you know, from the podcast to you. Thank you for taking the time to be here, spend with us. It's an honor and a privilege to hear your story, to share your story when that time comes, to open up the way that you did. It's really special, and it really means a lot to us. So thank you. Honestly,
of course, man.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to promote before we sign off here? If you do, feel free to.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, I'm finally doing social media, so you could follow me on YouTube at Greene Wellness, GREENE Wellness on YouTube, or just search my name, Benjamin Greene, mental performance coach on YouTube. On Instagram, it's benjamin.k.greene or at Greene Wellness. I put videos out every single day of just ideas, kind of the things we've talked about to reach a broader audience. So you could follow us there, or if you want to be coached, you fill out an application.
Nice, guys. Folks, I'll when this episode drops, it releases, I'll go ahead and add that information in the description as well. Ben, thank you again for your time. If there's anything the podcast can do, please let us know, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
of course.
Folks, I had, jumping back on here, I had signed off on the episode and forgot to ask Ben his question, so I'm doing it manually now. But Ben, now it's your opportunity to ask a question to our next guest.
My question to whoever gets to sit in this chair next is, what is one thing that you are negotiating with yourself on that if you stopped negotiating with yourself on and did the thing, life would be better?
There it is, guys. So that is the question that Ben is leaving for our next guest. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at SO NWA Podcast at gmail.com. But besides that, guys, take care, and we'll see you on the next episode.